Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first video of this web development tutorial series. So in this video we are going to learn the basic structure of an HTML page, the foundation of every website you ever built. So don't worry if you're completely new to coding, but by the end of this video you understand what each part of an HTML file does, and you'll be able to create your very first web page from scratch. So what exactly is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is not a programming language. It is a markup language that tells the web browser how to structure and display content like text, images, and links. So to start, we create a new file. So I'm using VS Code, and we'll create a file called index. So I'll name my file index.html. I'll save it. So the .html is the extension that lets the browser know what type of file we are using. It indicates that this is an HTML file containing HTML code in it. So currently my file is blank. Let me just check my okay, the server is running. So this is what it will look like. It's currently blank and we have nothing here, because it's blank. So the HTML file begins with a line which is doctype HTML. So what is this exactly? So this piece of thing right here, doctype HTML, tells the browser that we are writing HTML5. That is the current version of HTML. So that's all this is doing. Nothing complicated here. It's just telling the browser that, oh, this HTML file, we're using HTML version 5. That's all this is doing. Now, everything that you see on a web page goes inside a pair of HTML tags, a closing HTML and or pardon, an opening HTML and a closing HTML tag. So how do we write these tags? So a tag begins with in math what you'd call a lesson, and you say HTML, and to close it, that's how you close. So opening HTML tag and closing HTML tag. So as I mentioned, everything you see on the web page goes inside these pair of tags, right in between it. Now we discuss parts of the HTML page in between the HTML tags. So basically, there are two main parts in an HTML, the head and the body. So we have a pair of head tags. So what is this head tag? So in the head tag, this is where information about the page, not exactly the content that you see, but the details like the title, the character encoding, links to the style sheet for the website. This is where it all goes. So for example, we can give the title of the web page we are seeing currently by using a title tag. Say title, and then we say my first web page. And now when I go back to the page we were running, let's refresh. You'll notice that in the browser tab, the name that is appearing now is my first web page. Let's add an exclamation. Sweet. Now I go back and you can see now it says my first web page with 3 exclamation. marks there. So repeat, the head tags contain information about the page, not the content we see, but the details, just like the title, the character encoding, and links to style sheets. Next, the other main part of the HTML, as we mentioned, is the body, which also has the opening body and the closing body tag. So now what is this body section? So in between this body section, this is where everything that appears on the web page goes. By everything, we mean the text, the images, the buttons, the links, the videos, you name it. Everything you see on a website goes here. So let's try to add a header and a paragraph. So we'll start with a header level 1, which is an H1, and we'll say let's say my web page, and we add a paragraph using paragraph tag. Say this is my very first web page. So now when I go back to the page, notice it's no longer blank. Now we have a header, which is my web page, and a paragraph. This is my very first web page. So this is the basic structure of an HTML document. Once you've put this all together, as we have done right here, you notice this is what we have now: a header, a paragraph, and a title in the browser tab there. So this is the skeleton of every website you ever build. So later on, you add more tags, styles, interactivity, but this structure stays the same. Okay, so now to recap, the first line, doc type HTML. This just tells the browser what version of HTML we're using, which in this case, doc type HTML means we're using HTML version 5. The HTML tags. This wraps of everything or our web page contains. And then the head tags, this holds page information like the title, as we saw in the browser tab, and the title is given by the title tags. And the body contains all the visible content of the web page. So congratulations, you now understand the structure of an HTML page, or at least I hope you now understand the structure of an HTML page, which is the foundation of web development. So in the next video, we'll explore some of the most common HTML tags used to format text and build layouts. So thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video.